I'm a little bit at a loss since both of my opponents, or our opponents, seem to be presenting themselves as the Republicans used to the Democrats. Me too. We're for freedom too. We're for some form of laissez-faire integrated with socialism. We're for liberty. And we both share a dislike of Ronald Reagan. Well, we all four agree on that one point, that Ronald Reagan is a disgrace, probably for different reasons. Probably for different reasons. I didn't vote for him in either election because I thought he was a phony. And I agree with Mr. Hitchens that he preaches the rhetoric of laissez-faire, or at least of half-fair capitalism. But then his actions seem to be dictated by the New York Times. So I view him as a Carter in Reagan's clothing, in effect. That's for concrete application. But there seems to be so much rushing to agree with us that I wonder, are we doing better than I thought? People used to be absolutely knocked off their chairs by someone advocating laissez-faire, and maybe we've become a little bit too successful. So let's bring this down from the clouds a little bit. We advocate the immediate abolition of the antitrust laws. We advocate the immediate removal of the welfare system as fast as possible, perhaps over 4 or 5 years, to the total elimination of all welfare. We advocate the immediate abolition of the Federal Trade Commission, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Federal Depository Insurance Company, the CCC, ICC, just about any alphabet agency you can bring up. I mean, we're talking about something very different from socialism. We're talking about untrammeled, complete free trade, where people can buy and sell as they choose, as long as they do not initiate physical force against others. Now, I wanted to just respond to a few implications of ideas in the socialist side that I want to disavow. We do not hold equality as a value or virtue or ideal, if by equality you mean anything other than equal rights before the law. That term is used very ambiguously. Equal rights before the law, so that there is one system of justice in the law courts for rich and for poor, is exactly what I've been arguing for. Today, all the rights are on the side of the poor and the workers, and all the suffering is on the side of those big capitalist businessmen. They are considered guilty in any confrontation without the need for proof or evidence. They're considered guilty because they're greedy capitalists. So equality before the law, yes. But equality of income, equality of life, equality in any other sense, absolutely no. People have different abilities. People work with different degrees of intensity and effort and success, and to some extent just plain luck. And those inequalities have no moral significance whatsoever. I have never in all my years in philosophy come across any argument as to why there is any moral issue involved in one man having 1,000 times the wealth of his neighbor. I would like to know, on what basis is there something wrong with that, and on what basis is it better if the incomes or wealths are equalized, because there is no such argument. As to the family being altruistic, I don't belong to a family. We are not Reagan conservatives. We do not stand up here and champion family. We champion the individual. I would like to find someone I can marry. I don't plan to have children. And if I have someone that I love, whom I marry, it won't be someone who joins with me on the basis of from each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. It will be trading value for value, both economically and in terms of spiritual values. Finally, the idea of class and collectivism, we totally disavow. There is no such thing as a class. There are just individuals. And I would claim, if I had time, that that's based on the denial of free will. Their view is based on determinism, the idea that if you're born in such and such a situation, you have to have the ideas and values of your parents. We uphold free will, that a man makes himself. Thank you.